We can't sit there and change the laws, train attorneys, get people on the movement without educating our bench. And so I'm very much about making certain that our judges are trained. And one of the things that we've done at the National Council of late is start training judges on implicit bias. Because we start from the premise, and it is amazing to me when I go across this nation, judges sitting in similar positions as myself, and they will look me in the eye and say there's not an overrepresentation of minorities in their own jurisdictions, let alone nationwide. And the way they justify it is by saying that only the people who commit crimes, only the people who can't care for their kids are in foster care and in juvenile justice. I would suggest to you that is the biggest lie you will ever hear. And so we're working on this issue of overrepresentation, and quite honestly, the first step is just telling people and showing people how there's overrepresentation in their own backyards and how we as judges are contributing to it. And so we were actually teaching and training judges on the fact that every one of us is biased. That's not the harm, that we're biased. The harm is not appreciating that we're biased and leaving that bias in our chambers like our trench coat, donning our black robes and coming out onto the bench and making decisions that are devoid of bias. In my courtroom, I have experienced personally where one of my judges sat in judgment on a case. 2 14-year-old boys got caught stealing something, allegedly. They haven't gone to trial yet. One boy had his parents, both of his parents, and a private attorney. The other 14-year-old young man came in with a public defender and a woman who looked as if she were his mother. The argument that the private attorney made to the judge was that this is a young boy from a great background, a great neighborhood, great parents. He slipped up and made a mistake. The argument that the public defender, now I'm a former public defender, supervisor in the public defender's office, but the argument the public defender made to the judge for his client was he comes from a bad background. He comes from a broken home. They don't have a lot of money. He struggles to get to school every day. Give him a break. There's a difference in those arguments. And the difference in the argument resulted in different decisions. But the background, prior background for these boys was exactly the same, nothing. So the case was eventually recalled, but the point of the matter is a judge who has been going through extensive training still made that decision. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I would suggest to you that this is not going to be an easy struggle, but we have to start.